Hey everyone, in this video lecture, we are going to talk all about your cell membrane. So, the function of your cell membrane, what its job is to do in your cell, first off, it separates the inside of your cell from the outside. So, it's forming the boundary of a cell. And what more importantly it's doing is it's controlling what is able to go both in and out of the cell. So we're going to talk about the structure of the cell membrane and how it is allowing things in or out of the cell. So what we describe the structure of the cell membrane as is a phospholipid bilayer. So bilayer refers to the fact that it's two layers and it's made up of lipids, particularly phospholipids. So they're a specific type of lipid that has a phosphate group attached to them. But we see that each lipid, okay, there's many lipids kind of side by side here. There's a bottom layer of lipids and a top layer of lipids. So we call the structure a phospholipid bilayer. And so this is showing you one individual phospholipid. So there, that kind of round head of the molecule, there's a glycerol. So if you remember back when we talked about the monomer of lipids, every lipid has a glycerol head. This one particularly also has a phosphate attached to the glycerol, which is why we call it a phospholipid, and it has two fatty acid tails to it. So there's many phospholipids, again, forming one layer, but to make your full cell membrane, there are two layers of phospholipids. And so your cell membrane is often referred to as a fluid mosaic model. So we're going to talk about why that is and what that means. So if you think of the word mosaic in context of an art class, you're taking little bits of glass or multiple different things and putting them together to make a new image. Well, your cell membrane is sort of like a mosaic in the sense that it's made up of many different molecules. So there are many things that are embedded within your cell membrane like a mosaic. So obviously, we have the phospholipids that make up the bulk of your cell membrane. However, there are also proteins embedded within or on the exterior of your cell membrane. So, if a protein is on the surface of the cell membrane, we call it a peripheral protein. Or if it goes all the way through the cell membrane, we call it an integral protein. It's integrated through the entire membrane. There are also molecules of cholesterol embedded within the phospholipid bilayer, and these are important molecules that are going to help make your membrane a little bit more flexible and fluid. So that brings to the next part of this term, fluid mosaic model, is fluid is referring to the fact that the molecules of your cell membrane are constantly in motion. Your cell membrane is not rigid. These phospholipids are spinning, they're bobbing up and down a little bit. The proteins of your cell membrane are moving around, are on the surface or moving within. So there's a lot of movement going on with your cell membrane. So because there's many molecules that make up the membrane and the fact that these molecules are moving, we refer to your cell membrane as that fluid mosaic model. An important part of your cell membrane that allows it to do the job of letting things in or out of the cell is that the membrane is semi-permeable. The word permeable means molecules can pass through it. The word semi refers to it only lets some molecules through the cell membrane. So, this term is also known as selectively permeable, as in your cell membrane selects or determines that some molecules can pass through the membrane easily, while others cannot. So, in terms of being semi permeable, the small molecules will easily pass right on through your cell membrane. They're small, they can fit through any little open spaces between those phospholipids. Whereas large molecules will not pass through your cell membrane on their own. They'll either need help of a protein or they might not be able to pass through the membrane whatsoever. So your cell membrane selects what can go through the membrane based on size.